Alright, so I'm going to make a video on my Lincoln 225. The Lincoln Weld. Okay, from somewhere in the 1980s. There's the serial number and the code number. Alright, so the issue is that I got a broken slip ring. Now, I tried to fix the slip ring on the machine. It didn't work out. Ended up snapping the ring off altogether and into pieces. So I just went ahead and had a steel company fabricate me this new ring. It actually came in a tube, a 2-inch tube, and I just cut a 1/2-inch slice out of it. But it's roughly the same. It's real close, real close to the size of this other ring right here. I'm just hoping that the material makeup of this brass versus this brass isn't going to make a huge difference. So anyway, so I got the new tube, and the problem is that I don't know shit about mechanics or engines or how they work. I tried detaching the engine from the welder by taking this rod that runs through that fan and then goes all the way through here, through the slip ring assembly, and then into the shaft of the motor. And that's what connects the motor to this. But I didn't want to cause any damage that I wouldn't be able to fix, so I gave up on that and decided to go with this route. And so to get the ring on, I actually had to cut the ring in half. There's the other half. And as you can see, I tapped a hole and then screwed it down into there. Asked to make sure to not make contact with the steel shaft on the inside, because I don't want to short anything out. So I'm going to do that. So this screw right here, I'm actually going to take this half a ring out, and I'm going to put some JB Weld under there, and then I'm going to put it back on, and then I'm going to take a tube clamp, and I'm going to wrap it around and then clamp it down real tight. And then after that seals up nice and tight around the insulator, once this ring is sealed tight around this insulator, I'll take the tube clamp off, and then on the other side of this half piece of ring, I will tap another hole and drill that. Now these are brass screws. And then once I get that tapped and another screw into place, I'll do the same thing with this other half. And this fits together real nice. And if there's any gaps, I'll just throw some filler material in there. And I'm pretty confident this is gonna work. So I'll tap a hole on this side and on this side. So I'm gonna have four screws in there all together, and this is gonna come in tight because I'm gonna put that tube clamp around it again. And before I tap and screw that second hole, I'll already have one screw in there, and then I'll put the tube clamp back on it with some JB Weld, and then once that dries, I'll take that clamp off and I'll put that fourth screw in, and that will take care. And then I'll just take some sandpaper, I'll turn the engine on, and wrap the sandpaper around the ring, and I'll just pull tight, and then I'll let that sand down so it's even all the way around. And the other issue is there were some blue capacitors here that were obviously junk. So I took those capacitors out, and then I had to call an engineer, and I had to call a capacitor engineer to get him to help me match up the closest capacitor that I could use, because Lincoln doesn't sell the original capacitor anymore. You can't find it anywhere. So you got to get as close as you can get. And then once I get those capacitors into place, I will have to rewire this bridge rectifier, which I don't know how to do. And that's a project I will have to take care of later. When I bought this machine, this piece, he had already taken the wires out. So I don't know how to put them back in correctly. But I'll figure it out. And that should take care of the issues. Everything else looks pretty nice. I don't see any rust there. There's nothing blown up. There's none of those capacitors look damaged. I'm going to take all these connections out and just clean it up. You know, and I'll clean all these up real nice. And yeah. And I will, once I get my capacitors, I will show them on camera so that you guys will know what replacement capacitor you can use. And according to an engineer, these capacitors will be okay. So that's it. Peace.